So Ryan, where are you from?
From Seattle, Washington. I was born in Camp Pendleton, San Diego. Moved to Hong Kong, Washington, D.C., then Seattle when my father retired from the Marine Corps. I fell in love with music up there. Came down here about, let's see, 9 years ago.
Do you play music?
I do.
What do you do?
I write music. I write on guitar mainly. I sing. I write melodies. That's why I came down here. I got signed to A&M Records years ago. And I just have always been in either a band or just written songs with different guitar players, musicians.
So, since you moved to Los Angeles, like, why did you want to move to LA?
I moved because Herb Albert signed us to A&M, and it just so happened that right when we were mixing the record, Herb Albert and Jerry Moss of A&M decided to retire. So they gave me a personal phone call and just said, Ryan, we're shutting down the company, we're selling the company, and we're very sorry, you can have your masters back, and but we just didn't have a home. So when that happened, I was really upset, and I just decided to come down here and try to make something happen, because I was in Seattle at the time, and I lost my record deal. That was my dream. And so I grabbed the band, I said, we're going, we're going to go make something happen. So I came down here, and some of my bandmates got a little burnout, I think. Went back home to Seattle. I stayed down here as a solo artist, and been doing my thing ever since, until I walked through these doors about 4 years ago as a bartender.
As a bartender, so I'm guessing that's how you fell in love with the piano bar?
I didn't even know. Piano bar was not on my radar. I had no idea that it even existed. I just wanted to bartend and was looking for a job. And I walked in and got hired by Alex Timms. He was the manager at the time. The owner was David Brown. He was about 83 years old. And they hired me, and then about a year later, Alex passed away in a heart attack, and I became manager of the piano bar randomly, and I decided to turn some things around. It was a very different place. There was no women, there was no live music. It was just kind of a gay dive bar, and I turned it around.
So you pretty much brought the feel of what the piano bar is today?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Brother Sal started coming in, and he wanted to play, and I thought he was amazing, so I gave him what money I could and had him play, and the owner didn't really like him. He thought he was a little bit too grizzled or something. And I made a list of about 22 just undesirables that were in here selling drugs and transvestites, smoking crack in the ladies' room floor, and just hustlers and all these types that were allowed in here when Alex was in charge. So cleaned up the place, and then over a year's time, it started to pick up more and more every weekend, and we just, I was doing doubles behind the bar. I was going to Ralph's for our booze and napkins and straws with the cash from the night before, and just building this place little by little. And we had a huge crowd coming in here. And then 3 days before my negotiations with my old boss, I was dealing with the Armenian landlord here. 3 days before that meeting, these two twin brothers came in, and they said, we're interested in this place. We love what you're doing with the place. We want to buy it and put you in charge. And soon after that, they made me a partner, and here we are about 2 years later. They let me do my thing, just keep it very neighborhood bar, and we take care of people. And I hired all the right people, and hunted around for some talent. And Miles Mosley came in when we were remodeling. And he said, let me do Wednesday, Fridays. Hell yeah, and he's been killing it. So kind of built it from Brother Sal and Miles Mosley. And he's doing well.
Right on. Well, I really like this place. It brings a sense of calming, yet sassiness to it, if that's the right word. You know, you have different types of music every single night. What was this your idea? Is this your idea to bring different types of music? Like, what is a piano bar for you?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I always like the opportunity to explain to people, because the piano bar, old piano bars, they're very much, you know, dueling pianos and only piano music. I felt that we had, you know, 3 of the best piano players in the city already. Cameron Graves, Brother Sal, Joel Taylor, and from there I just wanted to expand, almost make a modern version. And when Miles Mosley started coming through on Wednesdays and Fridays, and he just brings this jazz roots element that's just amazing. And how can I go, oh, well, it's not just piano, so it's not going to work? I mean, his music, to me, piano is the foundation of all music. You know, you have that instrument, and from there comes, you know, blues and jazz and folk and everything else. And I wanted this place to be all of it, you know, not just the spirit of all music, rather than just a guy doing some covers and, you know, songs on piano. I wanted it to be a more kick-ass modern version of a piano. And like I said, since we had, you know, the best piano players anyways, I expanded from that. And I always listen for a certain sound through the artists that come in here. We don't do the whole, you know, everyone be quiet in the room and listen to me. Very, I kind of feel like it's selfish in a way. It's like this, you know, all of our artists are outward with their energy. They give, and they give to the crowd, and they're entertaining, and they're humble, and they have this sound that just, you can get off work and have a beer and listen to and be yourself, and you don't have to shh in the room because the artist is doing their thing in the corner. And all of our artists demand the attention of the room just because they're amazing. And that's what I listen for, and that's what I look for when I book this place. A lot of different venues do this sort of churn and burn through tons of different artists, and I like to keep it small and the caliber extremely high. And I'm pretty picky when it comes to who plays the room. You know? And you know, nowadays it's kind of family and friends, and if Miles said, hey, check out this artist, of course I will, you know, and that's kind of, we're pretty good on our roster.
So you pretty much have a trust in what music comes in.
Absolutely.
When people, you know, suggest like, oh, you're this band, or I would love to play for you, please give them a feel of, you know.
Absolutely.
And for your crowd, like, is there a type of particular crowd that you want, or is it pretty much?
No, I've always felt, I mean, this is my first bar, so, and I've always been, you know, just a blue-collar kid, worker, you know, and to me it's all about people and regular folks. I kind of rejected the whole, you know, VIP list thing, dress codes, and I feel that if you open yourself up to the city, my staff can handle anything that happens on this side of the door. You know, so we don't judge people, we let them in, let them be free. And if you screw up with all that freedom, then we're going to throw you out, you know, but it's a neighborhood bar. It's anybody's welcome, and that's the way it's going to be. And it's always free. That was part of my system where I never wanted to cover at the door, but I always paid the talent extremely well, or fair, and really communicated with them, you know, about, you know, how the house is doing that night, and making sure that, but I've always said that artists that have been in here, I don't care if there's 5 people in the room, they're still going to get their money. You know, I never play those games of, oh, it's kind of slow tonight, so here's less money. It's to me, it's, you got to make sure your staff and your talent are walking in here feeling like kings and queens, really good about their home, and they give to the crowd, and the crowd feels that, and it's a beautiful thing. You know? I think the whole city's embracing our formula.
Have you ever thought, did you ever think when you moved to Los Angeles you'd be in charge of running a bar?
Not at all. I was just a musician, writing, placing a few songs at TV and film, and doing some web design in the Valley, and I got laid off. And I was like, you know what, I think I want to bartend in Hollywood, you know, because I lived up the street. And just walked down this street one day, randomly. And there's about 3 old guys in the room, and it was just this little spot called Piano Bar. And during that time, after Alex Timms passed away, up the street by the YMCA, my father also passed away. And I was very close with my dad, and I just needed something to do with my energy because I was really upset he died too young. And I just kind of lived here for a while and put all my passion and energy into this place. And even slept under the piano a couple nights, and just made sure it had some good energy about it. And yeah, I have no idea.
No idea.
No idea. But I can tell you that at the end of the day, I feel like I've discovered some talents in myself. Like, I really like to take care of people, and I really do. And I think I'm a good multitasker in the fact that I have the energy for that. You know, making sure that everybody's taken care of, and I take pride in it. It's one of my big passions. My mother was the same. She's Italian. Making sure everybody's good and cooking and very warm and hospitable, and yeah, I've enjoyed my time here, definitely.
So would you say, like, when you're at the piano bar, you're working, is there a different side of you that people haven't seen? Like, I know when you're at the piano bar, you're working and you're doing your thing.
Absolutely. I put on my military hat, you know, and like, from my father, my dad was right and get it done, and so I think some of that comes out in me. I have a lot of the regulars. You're so serious sometimes. You're so marching around. Well, I don't want to become a vampire in this business, you know. And it's very easy if I was just kind of partying and being here till 4 in the morning and waking up at 2 in the afternoon, and that was my life. I have more ambition than that, so I want to pace myself and do it right, and make sure that you know, I don't fall into that night, you know, sort of far away. So yeah, I think. Plus, I love to perform and I love to sing, and I don't really do it that much here because we have so much amazing talent that I'm kind of the guy that runs the place rather than performs. I never wanted to be that, you know, hey, come check out my bar. I perform there, you know, every night, and you know, I wanted to make sure this place was legitimate with the best talent I could find before I ever, you know, sort of use the stage for my own way, for my own thing. But I'll tell you something, when I sing some jazz or something, a whole different person comes out of me. That's for damn sure. I think it would surprise some people.
Well, I'm waiting to be able to see that. I mentioned
I used
to
at the old piano bar. We had a couple of older piano players that would do all the standards, and I would do some Chet Baker and Nat King Cole. I love all that material. I love it. I love singing it. I love playing it.